Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to the Demoscene report of September 2023. I went through all of the releases that happened in September. We're a couple of weeks short. There's still a few days left in the month, but there's only one major demo party happening in the very last days, so we might as well already release the September edition of the Demoscene monthly report. If you're new to the format, I round up all the news and highlights that happened in the Demoscene throughout this month. I explain everything throughout the video, go over through the latest demo parties and different other things. And everything will be listed on the description below. And there's also a playlist with YouTube links for you to see all the productions that already have video capture available. First things first, let's take a look at the top of the month and see what we have. What are the most interesting demos that have been released recently that you should definitely check out without fail? If you don't check out anything else, you should check out these top 20 demos from the previous month. Some productions still from Assembly that happened earlier in August. Legend of Sisyphus, Assembly TV Mega Demo, Mundane Institute, a few more down there. Some new stuff already from Function, like the Umlaut design play emoji demo, the Farewell 256-byte intro by Helmond of Desire, and a few other productions. Some stuff also from Xenium, you can see here 1976, the Kessler incident, and a few other things. Some stuff from Demodulation as well, the brutal invitation for Deadline that was released at Nordlicht, some stuff from Silly Venture. Yeah, a lot of different things. If you don't check out anything else in the month, please do check out these top releases. And that being said, let's move on to the second part of this month's episode, which is the Demoscene related media that was released this month. So first thing that I wanted to talk about regarding Demoscene related media is the SIGGRAPH Asia 2023 presence. They've been doing it for a couple of years now already. And Joe Cincotta, which is an old Australian Demoscener, is usually in charge of things there. And he released this video, official SIGGRAPH video, explaining the activities that are going to take place on the Demoscene corner at SIGGRAPH Asia. So usually it's just a corner for people to hang out and be exposed to Demoscene things. It's a good outreach for the Demoscene. It's not like a technical track or something like that where you're supposed to present new technology. You just explain what the Demoscene is, try to organize some things. They try to organize also a competition inside the thing this year. So yeah, definitely check out the video, especially if you're planning to attend, and try to support it in some way if possible. I think it's really good outreach to reach other people inside the graphics programming area. Then we have the 8-Bit Mayhem podcast was released on SoundCloud. It's been up. It used to run between 2005 and 2008. It's dedicated to Commodore 64 music entirely, and all the episodes have been uploaded to different channels inside SoundCloud. So if SoundCloud is more convenient for you to listen to the podcast, you have the links here to check it out. A new video by LFT was also released, covering Chuck Rock with some of the different instruments that he has been developing throughout the last few years. Really interesting video, really cool take, as always, from LFT. Is so creative. So yeah, check that out as well. In other news, we have a Beat Saber Demoscene related playlist being compiled by Slurpee. Beat Saber as in the VR game where you wave your hands around like you had sabers on them, trying to beat match things coming at you from the screen. You can do some custom levels using custom sounds, and some people did some levels based on music taken from Demoscene releases. Slurpee combined everything into this playlist. If you see something missing, like if you know of a Beat Saber Demoscene track that is available on Beat Saber, contact Slurpee and he'll add them to the list. Completely different news. We have an update to cables.gl, the tool that a lot of Demosceners use to make browser demos, developed usually by the guys of Olan and 5711. This is the September patch notes release, like all the different updates that happened throughout September. Quite a few different small things. So check out the notes. The link is on the description as always. Then we have a competition being organized for the Atari ASCII car set. PETSCI is usually very popular, ATASCII not so much. So they decided to change that and organize a yearly competition. It's coming up in October, so if you're planning to do some text art for the Atari, this is the place to submit your entry for. And if you weren't planning, maybe you should consider submitting something, because it's cool. Up next, let's go talk about Nintendo 64. As part of this Game Jam event that recently took place, James Lambert did this implementation of MegaTextures on the Nintendo 64, having an extreme amount of resolution with different map levels. Inside of it, he did this very good video explaining all the different limitations and how to handle all the limitations on Nintendo 64 to have the best things possible, and also the further limitations in terms of how you can use it. Like if it's not just a closed space, if it's a big space, you'll have other conditions around it. So very much interesting technology talk, and I hope to see it applied to an upcoming Nintendo 64 demo in the future. Other things that also happened this month, there was the celebration at the Helmond HomeComputerMuseum regarding the UNESCO intangible heritage being approved in the Netherlands. They did this inauguration party, and they organized also a remote bite jam, so a few people participated remotely. It was shown in a big screen. There were around 70 people attending this celebration, so cool outreach for the demo scene in general. And yeah, there should be a VOD available of it soon, according to Havok. He was still editing some stuff, but should be available at some point. Still talking about museums and demo scene, we have upcoming in the 23rd of September in Lausanne, in the museum in Lausanne, a night dedicated to demo scene exhibitions, part of the Museum Night series, where all the different museums are organizing something. So yeah, if you're in Lausanne and you're interested in the demo scene, please do check it out as well. And I think that's it that we have about demo scene related media for this month. Let's take a look at the next thing, which is the out of Compo releases that we have. And starting things off for the out of Compo releases, we have the Party Pack number 14 by ArtState being released with all the latest recent Amiga things put together in a single pack by ArtState. Couple more productions, 69 sprites for the Atari 7800 released by Blast. So nice little thing if you have an Atari 7800. Vortex reader by CNCD for the Commodore 64. The USS Cygnus 192 by Oneman for the Amstrad Plus. So a lot of stuff for some retro platforms. The Atari Jaguar also got some love with the 512-byte intro by 42 Bastion. Then there was this birthday intro for Danko with his 50th anniversary. So Censor Design and Fairlight got together and did this little birthday intro for him. And last but not least, TownVille by LCF, an absurdist release, typical in LCF style. So if you like to have your mind expanded, please do check it out. And that's it in terms of out of Compo releases. Not that many happening earlier this month. Let's take a look at the different demo parties that took place, and there were quite a few throughout the month. So first things up, we have Chimpbembly a demo party dedicated to the Commodore 64, but also releasing some general stuff as well. Releases are not on Demoscene yet, but you can see the results here, and so some of the releases are available already in Puet, and you can see the full list of results, and also the productions are available on scene.org. So a lot of different competitions, as is typical on Finnish demo parties. So yeah, like 4K intros, 64K intros, demo competition, and some wild entries as well. So yeah, small little party that happened in Finland. Moving on to the next event that we had, Function, a bigger demo party happening in Hungary. Assumed by the orgas to be the last one that they are organizing, but still left in the air if another team will pick up the place, will pick up the slack and carry on the Function flag, or if it will just disappear altogether. Quite some good compo releases overall. 256 byte intro compo was quite packed with different entries. It was won by Helmond with Farewell. Also a very good entry by Ionic, compo filler by Rjola. Tomcat also submitted something. LBI did this escape tunnel thingy. Sensenstall also submitted one of his usually stylish intros. Kumel, also regular in the size coding community. Solo, Antiemies, VZ64. So a lot of entries being submitted to this compo. Quite healthy compo. And Function had a decent repertoire of having a regular 256 byte intro competition. So cool to see some last hurrah on that one. 4K intro compo, third place for Nap of the Lima, second place to Archie, which also a veteran in Demoscene, and first place for Tio and Tifeco with Fluted. So yeah, so a few good releases in the 4K compo as well. 64K compo, not that many entries, was pretty much marked by Regenesis, the new entry by Conspiracy, which are legendary in the 64K platform. This is the first intro that they made using their new engine, like their fifth iteration of the engine that Boise has been doing, or redoing in this case, for 64Ks throughout the years. Looking pretty solid, nothing overwhelmingly mind-blowing on this intro, but a very solid little intro as well, and looking forward to see what else they will do with this engine in the future. Then we had the demo competition, which usually is quite short at Function. This year they had 8 entries. All of them were pretty decent. A lot of cubes, which was very funny because you will see soon. So cubes on the last place, more cubes on the second to last place, and then we had Kvasingen with a cube demo making fun of people who complain about cube demos. So very meta altogether, and it was particularly funny because on the chat we were also already complaining, yay, more cubes on demos, hooray, and then this demo comes along and touches exactly that subject. Yeah, still an interesting demo, so good done. Good job, well done. United Force releases this thank you invitation, not invitation, but thank you intro, thank you demo for the Function organizers for all the fish. Netro doing his usual Function release, this time called Midnight Function, different style that he usually does, but was interesting. I had some nitpickings on it, but overall I think it was a solid demo. Nula, also very solid demo by TGD. Elusive Dreams, the usual slice by quality, very top-notch quality demo. So this made a very strong demo competition. And the winner was the play emoji by Umlaut Design, which was also very, very interesting, solid demo, taking the organic cameras kind of aesthetic and the lost tape aesthetic, VHS, post effects on top of it and everything. So it did this job well. It looked realistic, like it looked like an actual 90s VHS tape. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail, good direction on this one, good ambient sounds as well to give it that extra tape feeling instead of home tape feeling instead of a CGI thing. So very good demo, solid winner. Congratulations to Umlaut Design. Other compos, the freestyle graphics was won by Rashi of Dilemma, second place to Aboni Attila with Attack from Space. Game development competition, a lot of entries, 10 entries overall. Hangover Tales by Murek won that one. Hand-drawn graphics was won by Dorsey, congratulations as well. Second place to 1965 by Clown Boss, and third place to Callisto with Between Dream and Reality. Not many entries submitted to hand-drawn graphics, that's a bit of a shame, but yeah. Music Compo won by Tio of Focus Design and Rebels, also very long-term veteran of the demo scene. Old School Demo Compo was won by Lethargy with this massive Commodore 64 demo. Very long scroller-based demo, very good graphics, some decent effects in there as well, good music. I think it does some particular trickery to stream that, but I could be wrong. Then second place to Firestarter of Reality. Mega Greets by Leader getting third place, and 9 entries overall. A lot of little things to check out, especially if you are a Commodore 64 user. Some Commodore 16 stuff here as well, and some ZX Spectrum stuff by Kashi as well in there. Old School Graphics won by Facet of Bonsai, masterpiece as usual by Facet. Rivals by Grass getting second place. Third place to Critical with an Amiga entry. Skateboarder Warrior by Mash of Absolute. The Sarge getting some fifth place. Unforgiven by Grass and Leon, a collaboration in sixth place. A lot of good quality entries. Definitely the pixel art competition a lot stronger than the freestyle graphics competition. Then the photo competition was won by Travis of Moonshine, second place to Jimmy of TGD, Dangerous Investigation by Dave on third place. A lot of entries as is usual on the photo competition, so low barrier of entry that he usually gets a lot of submissions. Well, demo competition also getting 13 entries overall. I have to mention the Duck Guy as usual, because the Duck Guy did 2 releases on the same weekend for Function and for Nordlicht at the same time. This one in particular was interesting because it self-referenced The Box, which is the winner demo from last year, and did a good joke take on that one. Fifth place to Taat with some AI graphics thing. Embrace Me by Mercury, Blender made animation, I believe. Possibly with video editing in it as well. Clown Boss did this really cool video about the origins of the German crack groups. He did some very good research into the different things, and he explained it very well on this video, so I highly recommend you checking it out if you're interested in the history of the crack groups in Germany in particular, or just overall. Then SP and VT did this special laser show thing with the special projector live at the party. It's called Like the Coffee, and the winner was Ultiversum by Singular Crew. For the Commodore 64, I believe it does some I don't remember the name, but it streams information directly from the connector. What's it for? I don't remember the name of the thing, but I think there is a good reason why it's listed on the Wild Demo Animation competition instead of the Old School competition. And if you check the file info, you will probably see it there, but I do not want to do that because I want to move on to the next party that happened around the same time, which was Nordlicht. So Nordlicht happened in Germany, as usual, in Bremen in particular. It's been happening for quite a few years. It's known to be a bit chaotic, not as tightly organized as other demo parties, but still has pretty decent releases overall. They had a 512-byte intro competition, which was won by Tea Drinker with something for the Micro W8. Swally did something for the Atari 2600. Some releases by Losso for the Amiga as well, some stuff for the Commodore 64, and for MS-DOS as well. Ashinansi competition, not that many entries. The winner was all the way down by Oli. Executable music competition was won by Virgil. Second place to Trias. Gravedigger competition, where you're supposed to pick up stuff that you never released, like it's old but never released because it was never quite good enough. You can throw it into this competition just to have it released, and it was won by Bitbreaker of Nuance and Performers with a Commodore 64 game called Spillfall, aka Fionus. Also music disc for the Commodore DTV, second place, which should also be interesting, especially if you have a DTV. Ironing Beats competition, a special competition done at the party place, just using the ironing beads because you can be creative with that, and it has a lot of connecting points with pixel art and stuff like that, so it's really cool. The winner was Raccoon Violet and Vorpo with the Nordlicht Express, really nice graphic there. The other entries are not available yet because it hasn't been uploaded. The releases haven't been fully uploaded to scene.org just yet. New School demo was won by Farbrush and Sleigh Bells with this invitation for deadline. Second place, Acronym Analogiker, with this interesting rendering thing. Also multi-platform, which is also cool to see. Works on Linux and Windows. So yeah, cool little demo. And RBBS also doing a quick little entry for the competition. Vorpo getting last place with a Linux fast-made entry. New School Graphics was won by Oli as well. The entries are not available yet. You will have to check the scene set video capture of the party to see them, or wait until they are uploaded to scene.org. Old School demo was won by the Ultimate Crew for the Commodore 64. Resistance did this Amiga AGA Old School demo as well. They got second place. Quick and Filla by DHS got third place, and a few other entries you can see here for different platforms. A lot of variety on the platforms. It's always cool to see. Moving on to the Old School graphics competition, Critical got first place with To Live in a Bubble is Hard to Survive. Really good dithering there, dithering techniques. Raccoon Violet getting second place with All Aboard. Third place for Ollie. Fourth place for Don't Call Me Catfish by Slacks. And fifth place also for Slacks with 1 bit left. Lost Access Memories by Dries. Petsky graphics competition. Petsky graphics entry for the Commodore 64. To the North by Frieza Blazun, also Petsky, and The Oldest by The Sarge, getting a curious last place. Should have placed a lot harder. I believe this entry was not shown originally in the main Compo block. It was shown afterwards, and there was an incident in between Compo blocks at Nordlicht, which caused a little bit of a delay. There were some robberies that took place outside, and they had to stop the whole party for a while as they dealt with police and people checking if stuff was stolen or not. And there were a few entries that were shown after this stop, which of course got less visibility than the other ones, including this. I remember including this image that had forgotten to be shown in the main Compo block. It was only shown afterwards. Photo competition was won by TMA with The Deepest Call. Photo taken underwater. Streaming music won by Danko of Fairlight, who is his birthday, or was his birthday a few days later. Track music compo won by Virgil. Wild competition won with a game for the Pico 8 called the Flashbier. Pet strip for the Commodore Pet getting a second place. I think this is a conversion from the VIC strip that they did for the VIC-20, now for the Commodore Pet instead. And a very cool tool by Gazman called Basmatic, getting third place in here. It's like a Bonzomatic, but to code Z80 assembler for the ZX Spectrum, working in the browser. A lot of potential. I definitely want to try using this to try to get some ZX Spectrum game developers to try to do some Demoscene effects kind of things at events that we might organize in the future with the LoadZX Museum here in Portugal. So I'm definitely going to try to give this tool some use. Let's see if it ever happens or not. Silo Ghost was one of the entries that got shown after the burglary announcement thing, so got a bit of punishment on the votings because of that. Very good entry as well. Animation video, but shown on a Pepper's Ghost oscilloscope view. And the Duck Guy, as I mentioned, submitted something for Nordlicht as well. This one going a little bit into ATASCII world and making some fun of that. I laughed at it, so it was definitely funny. Then we had some entry by the performers with some custom hardware, and I think they made their own cartridge. I think that was the thing. And some greetings from DIFT to the Dutch people who recently got approved for the UNESCO Unintangible Heritage thing. So yeah, good entries at Nordlicht. Hope people enjoyed the party. I only saw the stream online, so I can't really attest what was the experience. Sad to hear about the robbery and stuff like that, but hopefully next year they will... hope they catch the robbers, first of all, and I hope next year the security will be a little bit more tighter in that regard. Then we had Psykoz, a small little gathering in Finland, I believe, of Commodore 64 related things. I'm going to show you the the CSDB page of that. Mostly Petsky entries. It was a small gathering, but the main point of the party was that you had to have an entry to go inside the party. And this was a model that has been used in Finland quite a few times throughout the years. And I kind of like it because it forces you to do something, anything. And the quality is usually, you know, not as high as you would expect. There's always a few people who still do high quality things. There are a lot of filler material, but it's usually funny, so you can survive with it, and it makes a more interesting party experience. It's always better to go to a party when you have something to present and talk about with the other people attending. At least that's my experience. So cool that they organize it this way, and I think other parties should do something similar. Oh, this is interesting. They did a remake of that burger thing that was so much talked about a couple of months back. This was the first image that was made using the Amiga Pixel software. And it was made using a beta version or an alpha version of that software. It wasn't like saved, so the only memory of the image that existed was a photograph in a magazine. And there was a video a couple of months ago of someone who was trying to recreate pixel by pixel the exact image according to the image, according to the magazine. So cool to see a Commodore 64 version of that. So yeah, a lot of entries for this small gathering. So really cool. I guess 40 something people showed up, 26 attendance with 42 releases. So that's really cool. So yeah, definitely check it out, especially if you're a Commodore 64 user, obviously. Let's move on to another event that also happened to wrap things up, which was the speccy.pl gathering. Gathering dedicated to the Spectrum, obviously. In Poland, obviously, they have this community called speccy.pl. They organize this event regularly for quite a few years. You can see since 2015, been organizing it. There was a YouTube recording of the entire live stream of the Saturday, which was the Compo night. So you can see all the entries there, which was where I checked them out. They haven't been uploaded yet. Some categories are already online, available at speccy.pl website, but most of them are not distributed yet. Anyways, they have a compo for the Sam Coupé, which is always cool to see more stuff for the Sam Coupé. largely obscure platform. At least here in Portugal, I never seen one. But in some countries in mid-Europe, it was a bit more common, and it's cool to see a little bit more love being thrown at it at some parties. Wild Compo won by Hipnosa Simulatio, which was a really high-quality production thing. It was like really good high-quality camera capturing and actors and script and everything. It's a very solid, big production. And then there was this fake news advert for this special version of Commodore of ZX Spectrum, which I didn't understand anything of because it was all entirely in Polish. That got second place. Music for the Spectrum got third place. And then a few other demos for the ZX Spectrum getting fourth and fifth. AY Music Compo was won by Pator, second place to 8 p.m. ZX Demo Competition, not that many entries, all of them were quite okay. Sound of Pi was a little bit making fun of Pi and the Sinus, very simple little demo. Maxwell the Cat, also very basic 3D animation thing of Maxwell the Cat. But ATASCII was a really good demo. I highly recommend you checking it out. Fast 3D engine with line drawing routines and has some good animation on it. So and some good effects, some good ideas as well for transitions and stuff like that. So definitely good job, well done by Arise and Joker. Worthy demo to check out. ZX Spectrum Graphics was won by Darklight, second place with The Ruler by Epterida, yeah, I said right. Alien by Hairdog getting third place. Under the Bridge by Rogal getting fourth, and fifth place to Demon. All of them really high quality graphics productions. No conversions here, everything pixel drawn as it's supposed to be. ZX intro 256 byte intro competition was won by Gork facing a lot of entries by Monster. Specky shader, I don't quite understand the tech behind it, so I have a hard time evaluating it, but it looked interesting. The other entries were also all right. I especially liked Mandala one. But yeah, check it out. If you have a Spectrum, go to the speccy.pl website, and they should be available for download there as well. Or on the video link that I will include on the playlist as well. ZX Spectrum Intro 4K was won by FOYM with the Intro 05. They've been doing a series of little ZX Spectrum intros. And ZX Spectrum Turbo Sound Music, which includes two AYs if I'm not mistaken, it was won by Pator as well with Last Minute Accident. So yeah, nice little party happening in Poland. And that wraps things up in terms of parties that happened this month. Still a few things that are going to happen. Scrolly party happening in Espoo. A deadline at the end of the month, as I mentioned, right in the beginning of October. So I will probably only mention those entries on the October report. Then a little online meeting on Southern California. Not sure what's up with that. Trsak happening in Aarhus, which is always big, always has some interesting releases. Tokyo Demo Fest organizing an online version on 22nd of October. Some smaller parties dedicated to the Atari, Amiga, and Amstrad CPC also happening. And then Flash Party happening in Argentina at the end of October to wrap things up. Also some parties in November, they're already starting to get announced. Demo Splash in the United States. Comprade in Emmering in Germany, Transmission 64, which will be online, Syntax in Australia as usual, and the Experience Demo Party happening in Budapest. There's also this little party that's going to be happening in the Canary Islands. I just talked with Zediago about it the other day because it clashes a little bit with the Inertia Demo Party weekend. And then we are having an Inertia Demo Party at that very weekend, 1 to 3 of December, in the Lisbon area. We're still confirming the party place to be in Almada or not, but yeah, that should happen as well. So yeah, a lot of parties happening up, starting to slow down in terms of a lot of things happening in the demo scene. The summer months are always the most packed ones. But yeah, still a lot of things to do. So if you want to be active in the demo scene, you still have a lot of options of things that you can submit remotely or try to attend in person whenever possible. Hope this video was useful. As always, if you see something missing that I forgot to mention, or you have a specific favorite that I didn't highlight that much, by all means, let me know on the comments below. I would love to hear your correction or highlights and some discussion going on. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the list of news and highlights. If you want to help me keep doing these reports, please consider donating something to patreon.com/PSEnough. Whatever you're willing to contribute is more than welcome. So other than that, see you at the next party. Bye bye everybody. Have a great day.